All right, let's dive straight in. Today, we're looking closely at Psalm 76. It kicks off really strong, doesn't it? God is known in Judah, his name great in Israel.
Yeah. And it pinpoints his dwelling place, Salem, Zion.
Exactly. So the immediate question is, what's revealed about God right there in that specific spot?
Well, the psalm immediately links his presence there with direct action. It's not just like he lives here.
Right. It's where something happens.
Yes, where his power is shown very clearly.
And shown against, well, human military power. It says he broke the flashing arrows.
The shields,
Yeah.
the swords.
Yeah. The actual weapons of war, smashed right there where he dwells.
It's quite a statement. It anchors his power to that place, showing it's active against threats, and the description of God himself.
Wow. Resplendent with light, more majestic than mountains. I mean, that's some imagery.
It really is. It sets up this, scale of glory that just dwarfs anything physical, even mountains.
Okay, but then it pivots hard, doesn't it? To contrast this with human might.
It does, starkly. It talks about the valiant men, the warriors.
And it's pretty brutal,
Yeah.
plundered, sleeping their last sleep. It says not one warrior can lift his hands.
Total incapacitation. Complete helplessness for those who seemed strong.
And the psalm tells us why, right?
Explicitly, at your rebuke, O God of Jacob, both horse and chariot lie still.
So human force, technology, strategy just stops, dead still.
Completely neutralized by his word, his rebuke.
Which makes the next line almost inevitable. You alone are to be feared.
And that rhetorical question drives it home. Who can stand before you when you are angry?
The answer seems pretty clear.
It does. The psalm positions God as the ultimate reality, the one whose anger, whose power is truly fearsome. Not armies, not kings.
And this fear isn't just about destructive power, it connects to judgment. He pronounces judgment from heaven.
And the land, it says, feared and was quiet.
A hush falls.
Yes, but look at the reason given. This is crucial. God rises up. Why?
To save all the afflicted of the land.
Exactly. So, his judgment, this awesome display of power that silences the earth, its stated purpose here is salvation. Deliverance for the oppressed, the vulnerable.
That's quite a pairing. Judgment as salvation.
It is. And then there's that really complex verse. Surely your wrath against men brings you praise.
Right. How does wrath bring praise? And it continues, the survivors of your wrath are restrained.
It suggests that somehow even human opposition and God's response to it ultimately serve his purposes and display his glory. And survival itself isn't autonomy. It's under his control, restrained.
Wow. Okay, so given this intense picture of God's power, judgment for salvation, ultimate authority, what's the takeaway for people? How should they respond?
Well, the text is pretty direct. Make vows to the Lord God and fulfill them. It's a call to commitment, to recognition.
And it's not just for Israel.
No, it broadens out. Neighboring lands, he says, should bring gifts to the one to be feared. It implies a universal scope for this recognition.
So fear, vows, gifts. And it doesn't stop at general populations or armies.
Correct. It goes right to the top. He breaks the spirit of rulers.
Breaks their spirit, not just their armies.
Their spirit, their pride, their perceived autonomy. He says he is feared by the kings of the earth. His authority covers political power, too.
So pulling it all together from this psalm, God's presence in Zion isn't passive. It's the epicenter of power that dismantles human might, judges the world, specifically saves the afflicted through that judgment, and commands ultimate allegiance, even from kings.
That sums it up well. It's a concentrated portrait of divine power, justice, and purpose.
So thinking about this deep dive into Psalm 76, how might this shape the way you, our listener, think about power structures today, or where real security comes from, or even what justice looks like?
Yeah, and maybe sit with that final thought. What does it really mean for ultimate power to save the vulnerable by means of judgment, and to be the one truly feared by every earthly authority?